Hey guys, it's Mel. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, which means I've got a packing orders video. I'm going to show you everything that I sold on eBay over the weekend. When I downloaded my shipping labels today, I had 81 orders, but a total of 137 items. So we've got lots of multi-orders going out today. Lots of people have purchased multiple books. I've got some viewer sales here, so thank you again for anyone who watches me and buys from me. And first up, I've got an international sale here, which I'm not going to package up because I haven't done the label for it yet, but thought I would show it to you before we started. 3 books here sold $53.95. These sold for plus international postage. These are going to Germany, actually. So these are Agatha Christie books, hardcover, part of her crime collection. And yeah, $53.99. Going over to Germany. So I don't normally sell to Germany. Normally I sell like US and UK and then occasionally somewhere else, but I don't know if I've ever sold to Germany. So hopefully it all goes nice and smoothly. Right, now first up, this order today, I'll just let you know it's come to $85.99. We've got this Fairy Tales of Hans Christian Andersen. I only just picked this up the other week, so this is only like a brand new listing into the store. And I've also got some little like Beatrix Potter books here, the tale of, you know, like Benjamin Rabbit and stuff. So a whole little collection there of large books. Now, this one doesn't say if it's a viewer or not, but I'm just wondering if it is because I did have a viewer leave a message on a video the other day asking if I'd listed this book. So I said I'd be listing it in a couple of days. I did, and now I don't know if it's them that bought it or if it's somebody else, but I'm sorry if you wanted it and you missed out. Ooh, and if it was you that bought it, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's put this one. Okay, so if you're new to my packing videos, basically I show you everything I sold on eBay. I tell you how long the item has been listed for, tell you how much I've sold the item for. All my orders include free postage. It's really just a psychological way of selling. You either charge $10 for the book and $10 for postage, so $20 for the book, or you just charge $20 with free postage. It really doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me. I personally prefer to buy from other sellers that do free postage. I don't like doing maths. I don't like working out this cost plus this cost. I just like to see the flat cost. So for me, it's something that I personally prefer. And eBay does say that I don't know if it's true or not. They do kind of tell you that free postage can convert up to like 70% of additional sales. I don't know if that's true or not, but in a lot of the time in the media genres, books, DVDs and CDs, it is very common for people to sell with free postage rather than if you're in the clothing game or the sneaker game, a lot of the time it's the item plus postage. So I think it does depend on what genre and which niche you sell in. And I forgot to show you this book. Discover the Healing Power of Nutrient Infusion. So this book has sold for, where are we? $19.99. So yeah, when I'm telling you these prices, they will all be including the postage, unless they're international, and then I do charge additional for international postage. So, rightio. This book has been listed since July last year. It's called Attracting Birds to Your Garden in Australia. This one's gone out on some kind of coupon or sale or something. It's just sold for $12.01. So not a huge profit item. This is the like $12 is basically the lowest I will sell a book for, and basically that will bring me the lowest profit out of any of my sales. But a lot of people ask me this question, but I do work my sales off, like I look at my numbers on a weekly, a monthly, a yearly basis when I'm doing my taxes, but I try to look at them weekly when I'm transferring my owner's drawings, my pay to my account, but then also I'm trying to look at it monthly, so I know you've got to know exactly how much money you've got coming in, how much money you've got going out, sales minus expenses equals your profit. So I don't look at these on an individual basis. I'm not looking at the book that made me like $1 profit compared to the books that made me $100 profit. To me, it's just all one big thing at the end of the month. Money in, money out equals profit. I forgot to sold. Oh, I'm talking too much. Here we go. What have I sold? David Baldacci, The 620 Man, just a basic crime and thriller book. Brand new listing, however, and did take an offer on that for $19. Sorry, I took an offer on it for $15. Oh, okay, I've already got a multi-order here. What have we got? Right, now these books are going out to Heather, who watches me. She's bought 2 Mauve Beachley women's fiction books, and then she's bought Water for Elephants, which is another fiction book. She did leave a really nice message that says she watches me and that she actually bought the 3 books from me, but she also bought a CD from Tom. So thank you very much, Heather. That was very, very nice. She did ask if we'd be able to combine the shipping, but we just can't do that. Tom's got so many orders in there today on a Monday. It would put him out of his workflow if I went in there and said, can you find this CD for me? And yeah, it would just totally put him out of his workflow. So we can't combine that, but thank you to Heather. Okay, this is a cute book. I like this one. It's like a coffee table book, Dogs on Doorsteps. It's basically like, yeah, cute dogs. I mean, who doesn't like cute dogs? So anyway, Dogs on Doorsteps. That one has sold for $25. So this little vintage cookery book is going out to a repeat buyer. It's from the Country Women's Association of New South Wales. It's a cookery book. As you can see, there's nothing fancy in this little spiral book. This cookbook has sold for $36.85. Sometimes those old vintage cookbooks, they have the best recipes in them. Like, they got all the old recipes with all the fats, you know, like everything that tastes really good. Nothing was low fat back then, do you know what I mean? So I've just sold the Australian Hymn book. This is a book that sells on repeat for me. I couldn't tell you how many of them I've sold. It's a very popular little book, always gets around the same pricing. That one is sold for $22. We've got a typical Australian book here on pub yarns. So, it's got photos and beautiful like pictures and stuff of country, rural town pubs in Australia, and then it's got stories that get told in the old country town pubs. So yeah, it's a nice book. That one has sold for $29.99 and it has been listed since November last year. So it's not very old. So this is funny. If you watched my last packing video, I had somebody that just kept buying all of these cookie books. And you probably won't know unless you watch the entire video, which was like 1 hour and 20 minutes long. But at the very end of it, there was one cookie book that I couldn't find. And I was like, cookie book, there's a million cookie books. I got a message. I've just sold another multi-order. And I got a message saying, this is the cookie book buyer. From the last pick and pack video. I had a great time looking through your store this afternoon. Regards from Amanda. P.S. You're hilarious. So Amanda there is one cookie book in here. She found another cookie book in my store, but I will show you what she has bought. It's going out in 2 packages just due to the weight of it and everything. So we've got a little spiritual book here, KRSNA. I'm not exactly sure if that's how you pronounce it or if you go Krishna. I don't know, but I sold a bigger book of that the other week as well. So we've also got Strange Stories and Amazing Facts. We've got Home Sewing, the Book of Home Sewing. We've got Home Hints and Tips. So that one will go out in 1 package. And then in her other one here, we've got Secrets of the Quran, Small Scale Grain Raising, Discover the Power of Drug-Free Pain Relief, Cookies and Biscuits. And I found another little cookie biscuit just down there in my like waiting to list or waiting to bundle pile. So I've thrown that in there because, well, we all know she likes cookies. Oh, okay. The sticky bits were sticking together, obviously. Okay, we've got another one. I'll probably say this one wrong like I normally do. Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is His Divine Grace. So it's a book on spirituality. This one has sold for $19.99. Now, this one's going out to Renee. She's a viewer. She left a message that said she never misses any of my videos. So thank you so much. This one is called The Care and Breeding of Australian Finches. So I think that's the second bird book that's going out today. And in general, I find that bird books can actually sell pretty well, like a lot of them. Like, what was the other one I sold? Attracting Birds to Your Garden. This one's on a specific type of bird, the finches. So there are some bird books that are worth a lot of money. It is a good niche to look out for if you can find it. So this one's only a brand new listing into my store. It's called Eat Your Way Slim and Healthy by Bridget Davis. Now, I've sold this one for $29 and yeah, just $29, but that's great. It's only just been listed in January. So brand new listing, quick in, quick out. Now, I've sold 3 books here by Laurie King, and these are a mystery series. It is the Mary Russell and Sherlock Holmes mystery books, and these 3 have been listed since September 2024, and they've sold for $39.99. So that's a great sale. They're only small books as well. Mystery books like detective type mystery books, they can certainly be a very popular genre, actually, the mystery books. Okay, I must have sold this book 1,000 times in my book selling career. The CSIRO Total Wellbeing Diet. This one is sold for $19.99. Yeah, this book just seems to appear constantly. Every single haul nearly that I get like a stack of these books. $19.99. Okay, now this is the style manual. This one has gone out on a sale because it's been like an older listing. When's it been listed? Since July 2024. I've sold this one for $13.20. This book, the style manual, there's a lot of different editions in it. It's for authors, editors, and printers. This one is the 5th edition, but depending on what edition you get with that style manual, some of them are worth pretty good money. So it is a book that is very sought after. Different editions will obviously bring different amounts of money, but it is a book that is sought after, and I do pick it up if I see it and if it's priced well enough. But yeah, that one there with that blue and white cover, that one hasn't been selling for very much money. There's another one that's got like a different cover, and it generally will bring more money. Okay, we've got this one. This is The Historic Hotels of London, a select guide. Another old listing. This one's come from the old Hoarders Hall. So 2022, I'm just glad to see this one out the door. Sold for $12. But it's in and out. Well, I wouldn't say that one was in fast. That one was out slow. Okay, we've got the student kitchen here. This is part of a cookbook series called the 150 Great Recipes. I prefer to bundle this one up, but This one is the student kitchen. It just depends. There's a lot of the other topics, like I find they bundle quite well, but the student kitchen one is one that kind of feels like it's for is dedicated to a younger crowd, I guess, who are maybe learning to cook or eating cheap meals. Cheap but healthy, I guess. So it doesn't bundle as well as some of the other books. The other ones like bundle better because they just seem to go better. That one seems to be like one that I tend to list more individually. Again, doesn't always bring very much money. And that one did sell on the sale. This one's going out to a repeat buyer. It's called The Food of Italy. It's a very large cookbook, almost kind of got like that travel feel, like travel stories with food and restaurants and the whole lifestyle and everything of being in Italy. Probably more of a coffee table book, this one. I have noticed quite a few Italian cooking books but going out in the last few packing videos. So when I start to notice that kind of like repetitiveness, like that's where I start to take note. If I'm going constantly like Italian cookbooks, then it makes me like remember inside my head like, oh, those Italian cookbooks were all selling quite well. That's how my mind works. Okay, now this one is going out to Deborah. She says she's been trying to find book number 1 in this series for a long, long time. She's bought the 2 books in the series. It's an old listing here, February 2024. I've sold these for $12. And Deborah, if you're watching, I don't know if you are, but I hope you enjoy reading that book. And I'm very glad that I was the one that had the book that you needed. Okay. They were romance books. I forgot to tell you what they were even called. One of them was called Entice, and they were romance novels. So I'm having a shocker. So I've sold 2 books here by Catherine LaVogue. Now, she writes medieval romance, and this is the Crusader series. I sold like a big bundle of hers the other day out to another buyer. These are in really good condition. They are, like, she is a self-published author. So I do tend to find that the authors that are self-published, they're just not as well known, I guess. So I do find that self-published authors, their books do tend to move a little bit slower for me. But yeah, these ones have been quite slow. May 2023, I've let them go on a sale, $15 out the door. I'm just really excited that I'm moving a lot of the old stock now by running it down on a markdown sale. Like, it's been a good method for me to move out a lot of the old stock to make way for all the new stock coming in. But it's a really good balance because I've had so much new inventory that I've been listing has actually been selling as well. So that has been fantastic. So just to let you know, the Julie Goodwin book, that was only a brand new listing into the store this month or January, and the other one was listed from January last year. So we've got a book that is a year old and a book that was like brand new. Okay, this is a good little book. This one has been listed since April 2023, so it's not good in the way that it's been like a slow seller, but it has sold for $39.99, which is great, and it's only like a small book. But yeah, probably if I'd had that one priced a little bit under, it would have probably moved quicker. But yeah, the fact that that book has been there since 2023, but yeah, still got a great price for it. It's got one of these, sometimes these white books, depending on the type of cover it is. I just use the eraser sometimes to clean it up. Probably needs one of those magic erasers. I tell you what, I get sick of like erasing all the like pencil marks, the pencil pricing. A lot of the charity shops here, they use pencil pricing like that. And it's good in one way. It means I don't have to come and like take off stickers, annoying stickers, because some of the stickers are just so hard to come off and they ruin your nails and like they're torture. And obviously with the pencil, you don't get that, but it's just like you're constantly having to check for them and then erase them. But if I had to choose, I would probably choose the pencil markings. Okay, now what do we got here? Oh, this is a good one. Okay, now these books are from Lee. Don't know if they watch me, but they have bought a lot of these MC Beaton Agatha Raisin books from me. In fact, these are the last ones that I have. I listed like a whole lot of them in the series, and I think that it was actually Lee that's bought all of the other ones I had. So maybe she bought a couple and then was waiting to see the condition of them, and now she's come back and she's ordered more. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful. But those books, MC Beaton, Agatha Raisin, they sold fast. They sold really fast. I do think, though, what happened with this one is I had like a whole lot of them in the series. I don't know how many for it, maybe like over 20 of them. And they were all in numerical order. So like, I don't know what numbers these are. They might be 1, 2, 3, 4. And these ones might be 5, 6, 7, 8. But that's how I listed them. And I put the number, I looked them up prior to listing, and I actually listed them in the title, like the Agatha Raisin series books 5, 6, 7, 8, or however I did it. But I do think that that helps to sell them as well. When you're selling the books and they're in the correct order that you have to read them, then that definitely 100% helps you. And there's a few series that I will do that with. Few authors like James Patterson, David Baldacci. I'll always make sure Nora Roberts, JD with the JD Robb series. They're books that I always look up the series and try and numerically order the books, because there's a lot of books in the series and you kind of need to follow on one from the other to understand the storyline. So if you bundle up book 3 and book 18 and book 32, nobody's going to buy that bundle. Who wants that bundle? No, they want book 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, new stack. Ugh, some heavy books there. Okay, we've got a brand new listing. This one's gone in February, so it's like brand new. This one is called The Maze, Nielsen DeMille, and this one is sold for full price at $19.99. This one is an old listing. It's from March 2023. It is 3 books, all by their fiction author named Jennifer Weiner. Now, she writes women's fictions, and obviously she's not a fast seller, because that's only sold for $12.60 for 3 books. So if she was a really sought after author, like that would have sold for that price earlier. But $12.60, it's gone out on a sale anyway. It was probably still only priced around that $20 mark for 3 books. Just tells me that she is a slow selling author. So I do find that the women's fiction, like modern contemporary or drama or family drama, I do find that to be a slower seller than, say, crime and thriller, fantasy, romance. The generic general fiction, it's kind of slow. Now, this one's been listed for a year, since January last year. It's actually 3 very thin books here in this little slipcase, and this one is sold for $29.99. It's called Aussie English for Beginners, and it's just a little 3-book set. Some of the books on language, where you're learning another language, the little pocket books about learning Italian or German, they don't bring very much money, but they are quite sought after books. Now, I've got 3 books here going out for $49.34. So we've got Brew It Yourself. This one's been listed since October last year. We've got Simply Allergy Free by Elizabeth Gordon, and that one's been listed for I don't know how long, because it only has the shelf number in the SKU. That tells me that it's an old listing, because I'm very, very good at putting the month into my SKUs, and any of the books that have no month in them generally tells me they're from like back in 2022 when they were older, and I didn't do that. And this one has sold The Conscious Cook, and that one has been listed since December 2022. So we've got a couple of old books there. So to be able to move them on as a bundle of 3 for $49, that's excellent. That is like ideal, perfect. That's, yeah, perfect. Okay, now we've got some vintage Enid Blyton here that's been listed since September 23, so it's a long time. I've sent them an offer or a coupon, or they've bought on the coupon. This one is sold for $24. It's 6 vintage Enid Blyton books. I think I've said it before, but you have to be careful selling the Enid Blyton books, and just make sure that you don't list any of the ones that are deemed as racist. And some of them are deemed as being racist because they've got gollywogs and stuff on the front covers. So you do just need to be a little bit mindful when you buy Enid Blyton that you don't list any of the books that are deemed racist. And you can look them up on Google. There's certain authors like Dr. Seuss as well. He's got some books that are deemed as being racist. So if you don't remember what they are, if you can at least remember the author, like, okay, there's some children's books by Enid Blyton, there's some children's books by Dr. Seuss, and at least it rings a bell in your memory if you tell yourself that. You might not remember the actual book, but if it rings a bell and you can remember that kind of stuff into your head, then you can go, what was it about that? I better look it up if they have any banned books. And then you can find that information pretty easily on Google. Okay, now this bundle has sold for $40.59, and I can automatically tell that this book is very old because it's got a post-it note in it. And so back when I was in my storage units, like 2022-ish, this was how I did my inventory SKU number. So all the books were facing this way up into the bookshelves. And I had like a post-it number, and I would skew the book with that post-it number, and that's how I would find the book. And then I would consolidate it, a bit like the clothing sellers do, where they consolidate all their stock boxes so that they end up with empty boxes at the end. I used to do that with my bookshelves. I would push them all along like it was a big long snake and consolidate the shelves. So I was always adding to the back of the very end of the snake, I guess. I would keep moving them up. But that just did not work for me. I very quickly ran out of space doing it that way. It uses so much space when you have a SKU system like that. But yeah, I know that book will be from like 2022 simply because that post-it note is still in it. And then this other book here, okay, I'll just show you. That one was called The Gardener's Q&A. And then there's this one, which is Free from Desserts by Julia Thomas. Now, this book's been listed since September 2023. But yeah, to get, what was it, $40-something for both of those books, considering they're both quite old. Yeah, $40.59. This bundle of books has been listed since October last year, and it's actually volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the final reports for the government agencies, and into the misconduct into the banking, superannuation, and financial services industries. So the buyer, these were listed, I think, quite high, around that $80 mark. So I sent this person like a 40% offer because they've been listed since October. They're quite bulky and big to be on the shelves, and I want to make up as much shelf room as I can. And I haven't had many watches like where I've been able to send offers onto that book. So I sent them an offer, he accepted it. Then after he accepted the offer, he said, is there any writing or anything in these pages? And I was like, there's none noted. So, yeah, anyway, they have sold for $40. Right, now I've got another 3 books here going out to a viewer named Sarah. Thank you very much, Sarah. This one is cool. It's called My Plan to Greatness, my business planner. I don't know why I didn't keep this one. It's got things like your top priority, your goals, your focus, your social media, things to do, phone and email. It's got like monthly planners here. This is fantastic. Like I reckon I probably would have bought that and gone, oh, I'll use that one. And then and then I've like listed it and not realized and not kept it, because that looks like a Mel type of book that I would definitely buy and keep for myself. So it's called My Plan to Greatness, the business planner. We've got Everybody Every Day. So it's a cookbook, and we've got Write Your Business Plan. So I love that she's got a business planner, and then she's also looking up here on information on how to write your business plan. So 5 steps or 10 steps ahead of everyone else who's starting a business and does no research on it prior and no business plans or anything like that. Very good. Okay. Sarah paid $46.15 for those 3 books. It's funny, when I saw the one that says My Plan to Greatness, it reminds me of Tech and Sports, the Patreon group, the mentoring group that I'm a part of, and it's called Reseller Greatness. So this little book, The Sustainable Home, this has been listed since July 2024, and it is sold for $19.99. Now I've got 3 paperback fiction books here that have sold for a total of $43.98. We've got Wilbur Smith, The Quest. This is a brand new listing into the store, came from the cages. We've got Christian Jack, Jack, is that how you say it? Jake, The Divine Worshipper. And we've got Ramses, which is another one by Christian Jack. I'm going to say that wrong. Somebody's going to correct me. I just know it. This was really funny because these 3 books came through, and then the very next order, so I think they ordered 1, 2, and then Wilbur Smith one was the last, and then bam, another Wilbur Smith one came up, and I saw the 2 of them and I thought, oh no, have I double listed something? But no, 2 Wilbur Smith books, both come from the cages, both listed in January, both sold instantly, one after the other. What are the chances? Crazy. So yeah, these ones sold for 43 or whatever it was that I said. And then the other like Wilbur Smith one there, he sold for $19.99. I got a heap of Wilbur Smith in the hardcovers up there. I normally find the hardcover books don't sell as well as the paperbacks. They tend to sit a bit longer and they're more bulky on the shelves. But yeah, 2 Wilbur Smith ones. I might have a look if I've got any of the hardcover version of that same book, The Quest, since it's sold very quickly. If I've got any hardcover versions sitting up there amongst the 50 odd Wilbur Smiths that I have, I'll try and get them into the store. So I got a book bundle here by Neva, and Neva sent me a message saying that she'd ordered a book from me in January, and now she was back for her February order, and she might make this a monthly order for me. It's a monthly occurrence. So thank you, Neva. I hope I've got books that you want every single month. I know some of these are brand new listings as well. Let me just take the pencil out of them, and then I'll have a look at which ones. I think there might only be one that's not brand new. Right, so this order has come to a total of $112.96. Right, so we got The Uncommon Soldier by Chris Masters, so war, combat, biography type book, true stories. That one's brand new into the store. We've got The House of Now and Then, fiction book, also brand new into the store. Australia's Best Unknown Stories, brand new into the store. And The Spirit of the Digger, Then and Now, brand new into the store. And this one was, they're all brand new. I thought this one wasn't, but it is. Country Style, also listed in January. A Dog's Life in Regional Australia. And The French Inspired Home. So every single one of her books there is brand new. So how good is that? 6 brand new listings. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month. You have to do it now, don't you? She'll be like, damn, she's going to remember now. Yeah, this book bundle is from Michelle. So it's 4 books. It's come to the total of about $49 for the 4 of them. She got Anyone Can Grow It, which is fruit and vegetables. And she's got some aviation books here, Taking to the Skies. We've also got 100 Years of Dirt and more of the Great Australian Flying Doctor stories. So Michelle actually left a message that said her dad was going into some surgery soon, and he loves reading about aviation and aircraft and flying. So she bought him these books for, I don't know if it was like while he's in the hospital with surgery, or if it's when he comes out of surgery and he's recovering. But yeah, she's thinking ahead, and she's bought him some nice flowers, flying books. She's bought nice flying books. She's a good daughter. And she said she's bought the growing vegetables book for herself so she can try and learn how to grow some vegetables. I don't think I'll ever have like a vegetable garden. I'm not like a gardener or anything, but I tell you what I'd like to be able to grow in like a pot or something. I'm sure it can't be hard. Is some like spring onions or shallots, you might call them. But you know, the long green spring onions. I don't know what you call them in America, if it's something different, or in UK or Germany, wherever you're from. But they're the long green onions. And, you know, they cost like $3 for a bunch. And sometimes you just need 1 or 2 sprigs to put in your salad or something, or on a baked potato. And you're going to go spend like $3 or $4 on this whole bunch of them. So if I could grow one thing in a pot, that would be what I would want to grow. Okay, this book is sold for $40.99. So that's a great price. It is quite a large book. It's going to need to go in a large size mailer, I think. But it's called Buon Ricordo, and it is How to Make Home a Great Restaurant. That one is sold for the $40.99, and it's been listed since May 2024. So I've got 2 books here from Julie. She says she's been watching me for about a year now, and this is her first purchase. Thank you very much, Julie. I'm so grateful. She's got Australia's Pioneers, Heroes and Fools, and then she's got Australian Farming Family. So there's been quite a few Australian themed books going out in the post today. But I did get a whole heap of them in one of the cages, so it makes sense, because generally whatever I list a lot of, I sell a lot of. So if I list a lot of cookbooks, I sell a lot of cookbooks. If I list a lot of fiction, I'm going to sell a lot of fiction. If I list a lot of book on cricket, I'm going to start selling a lot of books on cricket. That's just how it works, guys. It's just how it works. Okay, this is annoying me. It's getting too long. I need to break it up. Okay, we've got 2 books here. They've sold to a repeat buyer. This is called The Smoothie Kitchen and the Simply Contemporary Inspirations for the Modern Home. This is like the one I told you before that was like the student kitchen book. There's a whole lot of them in the series, but this is one that I would put together normally and bundle up, but it's gone into the store separately for maybe I had multiple of them. Sometimes if I've got multiple of the same book as well, then I might list some as a bundle and some as a coupon. So let's wrap this one up. I've got 4 books here going out to Naomi for a total of $82.38. Thank you very much, Naomi. She's left me a nice message that says that she watches my videos while she's doing her photography. So that is the best of both worlds. You're actually listening and you're learning while you're actually doing. So that is the best. That is the best. We've got Amazing Grace. This is a brand new book into my store. We've got Outback School Stories, another brand new book in the store. We've got Information is Beautiful. Now, this one's been listed since July 2024. And we've got The Plan By Cookbook. And this one, I'm pretty sure that's a new listing as well. Nope, it's not. July 2024. So we got the 4. But yeah, this book made me smile when I picked it up. Actually, when I listed it, you know when something just reminds you of something? So when I listed it, it reminded me of it. And now that I'm posting it out to Naomi, it's reminded me again. It's called Amazing Grace. So Amazing Grace, my granny's surname, and if you've seen me, I've got tattoos on my hands. This one says Love Always Granny, and this is my granny's lucky number, 527. So I'm obviously very close to my granny, and it's just a big family. It reminds me not only of my granny, but my mum. Do you know what I mean? My mum's my rock. And my granny was just the most beautiful person, and her name was Grace. So mum's maiden name was Grace, and it's always Grace. The song Amazing Grace. So this is Amazing Grace. The song Amazing Grace has always been a really important part of my family history, I guess. And at all the funerals in my family, Amazing Grace gets played. And when I went to America, not last year, the year before, and I was over there, my granny became really unwell, and they actually didn't think she'd make it. and they thought she would pass away while I was over in America. So I was absolutely quite distraught on a couple of days over there, thinking that that might happen. She did actually wait until I got back from America and then passed away only a few days afterwards. But when I went and stayed with Paul, the Philly Flipper, he could play like, it was like an organ. I wouldn't say it was a piano, but like an organ. And I asked him if he could play Amazing Grace, because he played music by just like listening to the song. He didn't know how to read music. He just had to listen to a song and then he could play it. And so I asked him if he could play Amazing Grace for me. And it was just so special because Granny wasn't doing well while I was over there, and to have him play the song for me, and yeah, just every time I hear that song, it makes me want to cry. Now I've got 4 books here going out to another viewer, Tony. Thank you so much. She's total of this order is $39. So they're all cookbooks again, I think. So we've got An Hour's the Limit, Great Food in Less. We've got midweek meals made easy. And then we've got 2 of the MasterChef cookbooks for Australian MasterChef. So again, all cookbooks. I was going to say they're all on maybe easy meals, but I don't know if the MasterChef book ones will be on easy meals, because some of those MasterChefs, they cook complicated looking fancy meals to me. But the other ones, fast, easy cooking. Thank you so much, Tony. I've had a few comments on some of the packing videos that people don't like the sound of the tape when I'm doing it, because it is loud in the microphone, I guess. It does come up like a little bit louder than the rest of the whole video, this. So I've been trying to edit out, in the last couple of videos, I'm trying to edit out the tape gun and not try and talk while I'm actually taping, because that's the problem. If I just keep talking while I'm doing the taping, then I can't cut out the noise of the taping. So I'm sorry if the tape gun's been annoying you, but I'm trying, guys. Now, when is this party food book going? It's been so big sitting here. Okay, all these multi-orders. Okay, 2 more beautiful books, both new listing into the store, both from a viewer, Naomi. In fact, I think there was another order there from Naomi, and this is a secondary one in the same packing video. But we've got Bible Stories and Prayers for Children, and we've got What to Bake and How to Bake It by Jane Hornby. Both of them are brand new. The total of this order is $51.99. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Naomi. Let's wrap these in plastic to hold them nice and neat. Okay, finally this big party book is going out. There's been so many multi-orders in between it. This is a huge book. It's been listed since September 2024, so I'm glad to be moving it. The big books are bulky on the bookshelves. This is longer than a standard book as well, so it just kind of makes it awkward on the shelf when you have bigger books like this. I do have some shelves that I dedicate specifically for unusually big books, but this one has sold for $24.11, so not a really a high price for such a big cookbook. But it is called The Ultimate Book of Party Food, and it's not like kids party food, it's more like tapas or hors d'oeuvres, or however you want to say it. It's adult party food. Adult party food. Right, now these magazines are going out to a fellow reseller named Maz. And Maz has been following me for a long time, a few years I would say. And we've had lots of interactions via message, and I think we're even Facebook friends. And poor Maz, probably a couple of years ago now, she's been battling this, but she got a melanoma cancer on her leg. And she nicknamed that cancer Charlie, Cheeky Charlie. And Cheeky Charlie has given her a lot of grief over the last couple of years, and poor Maz, she's not able to resell anymore, but she's got really into her crafting. Like, her crafting has been like her savior, I think, through this whole process of going through the cancer and the chemo and everything. She's been through the works, and this has been a very, very aggressive cancer. And so she's ordered all of these magazines from me. She got them on one of the coupon sales. They're, what do we got? They're like organic garden recipes, organic gardening magazines, and then these ones that are real living. So I think what Maz does is she like scrapbooks them, she cuts things up, she makes things really creatively with all the cutouts from the magazines, and very, very clever. But I think the crafting has been her savior while she's been going through the cancer. And Maz, I just want you to know I'm really, really proud of you and the way that you've handled this, and you've just been so strong. Like, she sends a message to me saying like you inspire me, and I'm like, girl, you inspire me. I've got nothing on what you've been gone through. Like, anyone who goes through anything like that, my hat is off to you in how you handle it. She's just handled it with such grace. And Maz, I hope everything is all right now. I hope Charlie has buggered off and he's gone for good, and I'm sending you much love. So thank you for these orders. Okay, let's get another stack over here. Stacks on stacks. Right, this is just a fiction book, only brand new listing into the store this month, or January 2025. I've got to remember now I'm in February. Sold for $17.99. It's called Dressing the Dear Loves by Kelly Doust. These two books have sold for $38.99. We've got Veggie Smugglers, recipes that sneak in the good stuff for your kids. And then we've got the low fat cookbook. You know, Veggie Smugglers, when your kids don't want to eat vegetables, it can be very, very stressful. I had one child, my third child, and he just would not, he had sensory issues, and he just would not eat hardly like sausages and frozen fish or nuggets. That was that was literally it. And I remember just like going to the teacher one day when he was little, like kindergarten. And I remember, I think I had a cry moment, and I was like, I just can't get him to eat anything, and I feel like I'm not like nourishing him properly because he won't eat any vegetables. And I was like this mess of a mum. And the teacher says to me, Mel, pick your battles. Pick your battles. He'll one day eat vegetables. Pick your battles. And I will say that did help me. I went away going, okay, pick my battles. But I will also say that child is 20 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday to my boy Fletch. He's 20 years old tomorrow. He still does not eat vegetables. He eats cucumber. He doesn't eat vegetables. In fact, he still is so fussy. He would live off sausages every day, sausages in bread, chips. Like, he just is so fussy. Okay, now this book, $29.99 this is sold for, and this is Mrs. Beaton's All About Cookery. And the book is called Time. Now, Mrs. Beaton, some of her cookbooks are worth quite a lot of money. And this one is sold for $29.99. It is very vintage, but have a look at it, guys. Like, it is only in acceptable condition. It is only just being held together. You know, there's marks on it. It's dirty over on the cover. It's not stuff that, like, comes off. That is how I photographed it. That is how I'm selling it. I'm not going to mess with trying to clean some of these really old vintage books. They are what they are. Then nobody expects probably to buy a book. This is probably from the 1960s, and nobody's really expecting to buy a cookbook from the 1960s that's in immaculate, perfect condition and not dirty. These type of recipe books back in the 60s, these were like well-loved recipe books with used all the time. So that one has sold for $29.99. Now, these are from Tony, and we've already seen some books in the piles here from Tony. She's just left a message saying that she's going to need a second job to pay for all the books in my bookstore. Thank you, Tony. So we've got Grandma's Quick and Thrifty Cookbook, and we've got Eating In, Easy Food for Families and Friends. I think that lot came to $29 on discount. So, oh my goodness, Tony, thank you so much buying so many books off me. She left a message that says I need to get a big industrial fan in here so that I can stay cool. But I do have a fan in here, but I don't use the fan when I'm doing the filming. So sometimes when I sit here in the filming and I'm like, oh, I'm so hot, it's because I don't put the fan on because it's noisy. It's noisy when I'm filming, and I definitely try and be mindful of any external noises. Gee whiz, we got another viewer's order. Guys, you guys are like I just can't believe it. I'm honestly so grateful. I've never had viewer orders like this in the past ever, and I'm just like, I'm so thankful. It's amazing. No wonder my store is going so good, guys. You guys are like keeping me busy, and I'm so grateful. Okay, we have got Classic Cupcakes. This is a very popular cookbook. I've sold it many, many times over the years. Doesn't sell for very much, but it's a popular little book. We've got Explore Australia by 4-Wheel Drive. That would be my dream. I would love to do that one day. We've got this Great Australian Birthday Cake Book. Oh, I love this cookbook. Like, it's got all these cakes in there with like Australian animals or, you know, Australian themes. Beautiful cookbook, that one. And then we've got this one, Home Bake. All right, Christine has paid $66.97 for these 4 cookbooks. Thank you so much, Christine. Happy cooking, happy baking. We've got cupcakes. Do you reckon she's got a kid's birthday party coming up? Cupcakes, baking, party cakes. Maybe she's going to cook some cupcakes and then jump in the car and take off Australia-wide. This is a brand new listing called Call of the Reed Warbler by Charles Massey, and it is an Australian agriculture book. Now, I had this one listed for $32, and I went back and forth, and I don't know if it was with the person who actually ended up buying it. It sold for $29. I kept getting offers like for $20 or something, and it was like a brand new listing, and I was like, no way. Like, the sell-through rate on that book was good, and they were all selling for around that $30, $32 mark, and I was like, no, I'm going to sit on this one. But anyway, I've ended up selling it for $29, so I did counter back and forth, but I don't know if the buyer is the one who kept like at first when they were trying to get it for a little bit lower. I'm not sure if it's the same buyer or not, but I tell you what, that book is only brand new listing, and it did sell really, really fast and got offers on it very, very fast. Now we got the Too Good Cookbook. This one there's a series of these books. One of them's orange, one of them's green, one of them's black. This one is sold for $22. We've got a book called Eventing, Preparation, Training and Competition. I don't sell very many horse books. I don't have many to list. They're not something that I come across a lot. So obviously there's not a lot of them going into my store, so that's probably why I don't sell very many of them. This one's been listed a year, January 2024. I can't remember where I bought that book or where it came from or how I obtained it, but anyway, it's taken a year to sell. It's taken a year. Right, now I've sold another little Agatha Christie book. Now, remember the first bundle I showed you in today's video was going overseas to Germany. Same collection, the crime collection. This is just an individual book. This one sold for $19.99. That is generally the price that I seem to get for them, around that $20 mark if I sell them individually. But I can't, like the other one got bundled up and it's 3 books for like $53, I think it was. So I would rather, so like let's say they're $20 each and you got 3, you might have to sell them 3 individual books to get $60. I'd rather make a bundle listing so it's a little bit cheaper for around that $52, $53. So it's cheaper than someone buying 3. So it appears like it's giving value, but it increases the average sale price into my store. It's much better for me to sell a bundle of 3 books for $53 than it is to sell one individual book for $19.99. This one's been listed since July 2024, Retro Home. So it's a book on home styling, interior design, retro themed. This is probably the type of book that could be used as a coffee table book. And people do like coffee table books or books for display. So they are something to look out for when you're sourcing. If there's a nice looking book that you think, oh, somebody's going to put that on the coffee table, or someone's going to display that in their kitchen on one of their shelves or something. That can be like a telltale of something to like go, let me look up the price of that book while I'm out. Fruit and vegetable garden. This one has sold for $19.42. I could see that there was something inside it, but there's actually like a poster with like so what when. I guess it's just something that you can hang up somewhere. So kept that inside the book, photographed it in there as well. And that one is sold for $19.42. I have sold that book many, many times. So we've got this little box set here of Amish Romance. I've just plastic wrapped it after I photographed it just to make sure none of them fell out loose on the shelf or anything. But yeah, only small books, Amish Romance. And that lot has sold for $29.99. This one has been listed since May 2023, not a fast seller, Perfect Health Diet, sold for $19.99, but again, would I pick that up again? No, because it's been listed since May 2023. The sell-through rate on that is just too slow. It's just too slow. I'm really looking for like a 6-month sell-through rate through to, I'm obviously will go higher than that, up to like 12 months, but like I really don't want anything in my store anymore that's over 12 months old. I'm looking for things that will sell as fast as possible. And, you know, yeah, some of them are a little bit long tail, and you can be aware of that when you put them into the store, because it depends on the type of book, the niche, whether or not it's a rare book, if it's just for a specific buyer. But anything that's kind of like generic, you want to be moving that through as quickly as possible. This book is a biography called Dear Lindy by Alana Valentine, and it's about Lindy Chamberlain. So Lindy Chamberlain was an interesting story back, oh gee whiz, I don't know, it was probably back when I was a very small kid in the 70s. I don't know when it happened, but I was very young when it happened. She had a little baby called Azaria, and they were out camping or something, and the dingo came in, and she said the dingo came in and took the baby, but there's a lot of like controversial around it on whether or not the dingo really did take the baby or whether or not it was a murder case. So it's been a very interesting saga story, and it's never really left the news. Lindy Chamberlain, like, she's always been in the news. She's spent her whole life being questioned that she murdered the daughter. Whether or not she did or not, she claims that it was a dingo that stole the baby. Just a tragic story all around. Imagine if the dingo did take the baby and she's just been accused of it her entire life and has had to live with, you know, people thinking that she's a murderer. Or imagine if she was the murderer and she's just been like living amongst everyone. So just a tragic story all around. Okay, this is a brand new listing. It's called Operation Swallow. It's American soldiers, and it's just a war combat biography, true stories, sold for $19.99. This is the Master Index to the Old West, and the Old West is a book series that's by Time Life Books, and they are beautiful books. They're kind of big, like they're the same size as this actually, and they're like a fake leatherette, and they've got like a nice picture on the front of them, and they're all about the cowboys and the Old West and the gamblers and everything like that. And they are popular books. They are a series that people collect. It's a collectible book for collectors. But this is just the Master Index, and occasionally when you pick up the Old West books, you sometimes find this just like slipped inside the actual books. But this is quite a sought after thing for the people who collect the whole collection. They look for this Master Index. Now, this one has been listed since October 2022, and I've sent it out on a 40 or a 50% offer or something, and so she's bought it for $23.99. It's just got to that point where I wanted to clear it out. It doesn't really take up any room, but it's just been there too long. Anyway, she sent me a nice message saying, thank you so much for the very generous offer. You know, I hope you're still making money off this. But yes, I can assure you, selling it for $23.99, I am making money off your book. But no, it's good. I'm glad it's found a home finally. Now, this is a random bundle that I created. It is 6 books, all Australian authors and all women's fiction, and they're kind of all on the rural theme as well. So these books have sold for $39, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It is hard to sell books that are all different authors, and you're just kind of relying on the keywords like Australian author, rural Australia. It's hard to sell them like that, so yeah, that one's only been listed since September though. This is a nice little book. I only picked it up the other week and it's just been listed in January. It's called Koala and it's the origins of an icon. I've sold it for $36.99. Now, I can't remember which thrift shop I bought this in. It didn't come from the cages. I did actively pick this one, but it just felt like a nice book. It's obviously got really nice white pages. I've never sold it before, but it was an interesting looking book and an interesting looking topic for me. So that's what sparked my interest in it when I first saw it. $36.99 sold very quickly. This one's been listed since September and it's just sold for $20.01. It's called the Thorn Bird Country. It's got some nice colour photographs of some Australian landscape there, the Thorn Bird Country. I don't know where that is, somewhere in Australia. Not anywhere near us, but it's $20 that is sold for. Right, now this is also just a brand new listing. 7 fiction books by the same author, Peter James. These ones have sold for $47, which is actually quite cheap for 7 large fiction books. This little soup book is going out to Jodie. She's a repeat buyer of mine and I think she also watches me, so thank you Jodie if you do. Jodie loves to buy cookbooks and quite often she gets them on my sales. She puts them in her cart and then she comes back and she spreads out her payments because she buys so many books. So I think there's about another 8 books in the shopping cart waiting for Jodie to come back in and buy. So I'm sure we'll be seeing Jodie's name pop up again in another video. Thank you Jodie. Okay, this book is called The Handmaid Loaf and it is sold for $25. It's only been listed in January. I actually picked up a few of these at the charity shop. I don't know if they must have been all donated by the same person because they actually looked brand new and I'm pretty sure maybe they came from like a book signing event or something. There was multiple of them at the charity shop and I bought all of them just because I was like, this is going to be so easy. It's one listing, it's exactly the same. All the books look like they're brand new. Fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that might be the last one now. I think they've all sold. Another brand new listing. This one is called Jacka VC, the Australian hero. So again, this is a war biography type book. That one is sold for $15. I've sold a bunch of old Western books here. These ones have sold for $35.99. There is 5 in the bundle. These are a little bit older. What have they been listed since February last year? So these ones have been in my store a while, but they're not like from the new lot of Westerns that I've got. None of those have actually hit the store yet. None of them have been listed yet. I've got like a working folder on my desktop of books that are waiting to list and I just basically work through them in order. So whenever I photograph, they just kind of get tapped on and I start at the top. There's no cherry picking. I just start at the top and I keep going. But when I do get those Western books, I probably will not just list them all at once into my store. I'll list like a heap, but then I'll list like a heap of something else. So that way I just don't flood my store with like 100 bundles of Western books. Okay, now where are we? Now I've got another large bundle here of 6 crime and thriller fiction books. These ones are all by James Patterson. They are all part of the Alex Cross series. So they've been bundled together. Probably very likely that all those books are in either a sequential order or as much of a sequential order as I could possibly get them. And those books have sold for $55.99. This is a great order that's come to $140.99. It's from Jennifer. I don't know if she watches me because she doesn't leave a message, but she's been buying from me from my store for a very long time, and she always buys a lot of books, so I'm very, very grateful for her as a repeat buyer. I'll show you what she's got. I'm going to send it in 2 different mailers just due to the weight of it. So we've got the top 100 Italian dishes. Guys, note, Italian dishes. We've done a lot of Italian books lately. Nick Digawani, Knife Drop, creative recipes that anyone can cook. We've got the complete book of baking. We've got macros, eat what you love. Those ones are going out in one bundle. Then this one we've got wild sourdough. Betty Crocker's new low-fat, low-cholesterol cookbook. Betty Crocker's books are ones to look out for. They're, a lot of them are vintage, but the Betty Crocker cooking books generally sell pretty well. And then these ones, the ultimate 30-minute cookbooks. So, yeah, that's an awesome sale there. I'm very, very grateful. My stacks are getting high. I think I'm going to have to start stacking some books over this side. Can't stack them here because I'll block the camera for you. Okay, these books are from Kim, who's been watching me. These have sold for $49. This one is called The Happy Herbivore, and this one has been listed since October. We've also got the Meat-Free Monday Cookbook, which has been listed since January 2023. And we've got Olivia Newton-John here since February 2024. I've sold about 3 or 4 of these Olivia Newton-John books lately. They just keep flying out the door. When I went to America, they had a fancy dress night at the reselling conference called FlipCon. And I dressed up as Olivia Newton-John. And I won, guys. I won the best dress competition at the end of the night. And I was so embarrassed. I tell you what, I went there thinking, okay, we're going to America. Americans love Halloween. Like, if there's a fancy dress party, they're going to get so into it. And I got dressed. I love fancy dress parties, so I had this costume, right? And it's got the leggings, and I had the leotard and the sweatband, and from her song, "Let's Get Physical, Physical." Anyway, I dressed up like this. I looked absolutely ridiculous, and I got dressed up in my hotel room, and then I peeked out the window, and all these people just gathering for the party, not dressed up. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to go into this event and nobody's going to be dressed up and they're all going to look at me and think, you freak from Australia. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I thought the Americans got into fancy dress. Anyway, thankfully there were some people there who did get into the fancy dress and there were some people that didn't. But, oh my goodness. Paul the Philly Flipper came up to the room after I was ready, opens the door, and he literally, I think he fell to the floor laughing his head off like, what are you wearing? It was so embarrassing. And then I had to walk down there and I was just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And anyway, by the end of the night, I'd had a few drinks and they did like a best dressed, best costume, and I won. So yeah, that was funny. That was very funny. Anyway, I had a really good night that night. Anyway. Okay, guys, we're nearly finished. We're on the tail end of these books. Okay, this is a good one as well. 6 crime and thriller fiction books again. See, we've done a lot of crime and thriller. These ones are the Lee Child by Lee Child, and it is the Jack Reacher series. So there's 6 of these ones. These have sold for $55.99. So I think that's the same price as the James Patterson Alex Cross series. They both sold for $55.99, whereas the Peter James ones, they weren't actually a series. They were just all standalone books by the same author. Those ones sold for $47.99. So similar, but $55.99 is better than $47.99, isn't it, guys? I'm losing my voice, I can see. The packing videos, I just talk non-solid for a couple of hours. Never talked so much in my whole life. Oh, mate, that might be a lie. Okay, now we've sold 4 books here by Catherine Cookson, and these ones with the little hardcover ones, red spine. They're part of a very large collection, the Catherine Cookson collection. These ones have only sold for $23.39. They've been listed since September 2023, so they didn't sell very well, those ones. There was a time there where I bought a huge collection of these. It must have been the entire collection. I reckon there was over 100 of them in the whole collection. It was huge. And when I got that haul, I actually did very well from it. I bought all the books for $1 each, and I just sold. So I bundled them up, and they just sold really well. Maybe because I had such a large amount of them and I had nearly the whole series. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. But I've sold them many times since, but they've never done as well for me as the time when I had the huge haul of them. So maybe it just had something to do with getting like such sheer quantity of them and coming into the store, and maybe I had repeat buyers. But yeah, they've never gone as well for me ever since. And to be honest, I saw some sitting on the shelf the other week at the thrift shop, and I left them. I was like, nope, I'm not buying them. They don't sell well for me at the moment. They can stay. Another brand new listing, Sonia Henry, Put Your Feet in the Dirt Girl, A City Doctor Goes Bush. So Australian biography again. I just got a lot of them from those cages. 1999. We're on the last legs. We're on the last legs. Right, now this order is going out for $42.98, and the girl who's bought this is Katrina. And Katrina sent me a message saying, Mel, stop adding all these good books to your store. I can't stop buying. So these are pretty much brand, I think some of these are brand new listings. Let me have a look. Royal Mistresses of the House of Hanover in Windsor, brand new listing. My Father and Other Animals, brand new listing. Red Queen, brand new listing. And this is the only one that's not. This is from July 2023, 2-day fasting diet. But yeah, the other 3, they're all brand new. So there you go. I said the other day, this is why you have to be continuously listing into your store. You can see how many brand new listings that I'm selling. And if I wasn't listing, if I wasn't doing that work, I wouldn't be getting these sales. So it's just so important to list. And look, that person, Katrina, she's bought 3 brand new books, but then she's found like an older book in there while she's like looking. So she's in the store actively looking for something else. And so then you end up like increasing the sale by an extra book, because that's what happens when you've got a large range of books into your store. There's a lot of enticing books in there that people want to come in and buy. Two more. What do we got? This one's been listed since October 24. Took an offer on this one. It is 2 illustrated war books. This one is Tobruk, 1941, and the other one is Gallipoli. Anyway, they've been listed since October, and those ones have sold $20. Guys, lucky last. We've got Facing Addiction, Starting Recovery from Alcohol and Drugs. This book was listed, it's been listed since September 24. I took the offer for $15. It was listed for higher, maybe even around $30. I took the offer. It's the first offer I've had on that book, and so I just move it along since it's been there since September. Oh, stacks on stacks. I need to bring the camera around and show you the stacks on stacks. So I got a few orders that I just couldn't fit over there. I was worried about these stacks tumbling. And then look what we got, guys. Look at all the stacks on stacks. Oh, it's Tom. Hi.
We're about to light up. Are you good?
I'm ready. I just packed the last one.
Oh, good on you.
Oh, I know.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, Tom's coming to get the post. Guys, did you notice my t-shirt today? My eBay t-shirt. And this did not come from eBay, let me tell you. I got a friend named Jason, and he's on the eBay Australian panel, right? So he talks to eBay and lets them know what's going on in the eBay Australia community, and he is very, very helpful to anyone who is in Australia. You probably know Jason Ramage from the Facebook groups, but I went to a conference, an eBay conference, and all the people on the seller panel got given these eBay t-shirts. What does it say? All ears or something? And I was really jealous. So I was like, why does eBay give me any t-shirts so I can wear them in my video? I mean, here I am, their biggest Australian ambassador, and they can't even give me a t-shirt. I was like, I wanted a t-shirt. I always like to wear merch. Do you know what I mean? Like you see me often, I'm wearing Commonwealth Pickers t-shirt. I wear Tech and Sports jumper. Like I like wearing other people's merch that I support. And obviously I support eBay. So I was like, why don't I have a t-shirt? You can't buy them. Why don't I have one? Anyway, Jason gave me the t-shirt because they'd given him multiple copies of the t-shirt. So he was so kind and he gave me a t-shirt. It's really, really big. But yeah, I still love my eBay t-shirt and I still wish that eBay, send me a merch pack at eBay. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye. Okay, show everybody your talents.
What if I don't want to?
Oh my goodness.
I already forgot it. Okay. Keep it down, right?
Oh my goodness.
That sucks.
What?
That wasn't that good.
What?
What are you doing?